That's why most of the companies, they gonna try to answer the data using the company's data. And for that, the business gonna hire a data analyst in order to find the answers from the data. But to do that, they need a tool, and if the company doesn't have the right one, they usually go and use spreadsheets like the Excel files. So the analyst gonna try to go and collect the data from the sources and put it in the Excel files. They're gonna clean up the data, fix mistakes, and prepare the data so that at the end they're gonna present the answers using numbers and charts to the managers, and after that the manager gonna use them in order to make critical business decisions. So now this sounds like happy ending, right? Everyone is happy and we got the answers. But in real world, this doesn't work like this. If you are using spreadsheet or Excel to do data analysis, things gonna start to fall apart. Let me show you what I mean. Now the entire process is manual, so you are connecting the sources, exporting files, merging sheets, cleaning rows. People think it is easy, but in reality this is painful and it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes weeks, and I have seen cases where it takes months. And if it takes a lot of time to present the data, that means the data inside the reports are actually old, which means the managers are making decisions based on old data, and the business might have been changed in the last week, and no one knows about it because we have old data inside the Excel files. So that means managers makes decisions based on outdated data, and this might result to bad decisions, which gonna cost the company a lot. So the new generated data inside the systems will not be automatically updating the charts or whatever results that you have in Excel. It's gonna be like snapshot static. Another issue is that the company's systems are not always like a simple database or files. Now the systems lives in cloud, they provide data in APIs, or even they stream their data in platforms like Kafka. And pulling the data from those modern systems into Excel by hand is almost impossible. So you're gonna struggle with the modern technology. Another big issue as well, the sources now are generating massive amount of data. So if you try to export everything to Excel and put it in file, at some point your Excel file is gonna explode and maybe freeze or crashes. They simply can't handle real big data. And another one can be funny to watch if the company decide to speed up the process by adding more people to the project. So you're gonna have more than one analyst that they're gonna try to prepare this Excel file, and guess what? They cannot work inside the same file at the same time. And the solution for that, each one gonna go and create their own copy. So that means you're gonna have multiple versions of the same file, and good luck merging all those stuff back to one file. And another big issue using Excel files is the security. So the analysts or the managers might send the Excel files through emails, and those files could be storing sensitive data about the company, and it is really easy to hack the Excel files to get access to them, and could be easily end up in the wrong hands. So your company's data are totally unprotected if you put it in spreadsheets. And another thing about the security, not all the data inside the Excel should be available for everyone in the company. Sometimes part of the data is really sensitive and only upper management in the company are allowed to see it, not everyone in the company. So in Excel you cannot go and apply something called row level security to control which department or which people are allowed to see the data. So you're gonna end up creating multiple versions for multiple departments. And now since we are talking about departments, we come to the biggest issue, the biggest catastrophic. Different departments like sales, finance, marketing have their own analysts. So one analyst is exporting the data, cleaning up, and then they build their own formulas. And guess what can happen if you leave it like this? First, people are spending their mornings doing the same task, and now if the managers ask the same question to 3 different analysts, they're gonna get 3 different answers. It's not because they are wrong, it is because of this whole system. One file is 2 weeks old, another one is 1 week old, and another just got updated yesterday. And as well, the calculation in each file could be slightly different. So that means, my friends, it is big confusion, and there is no more single point of truth for the data. And my friends, to be honest, I have seen this almost in every company that I have joined. It is total disaster and pure chaos. And that's why many of the companies, they understood they cannot rely on spreadsheets to do data analysis. Instead, they need a standard, they need a process, platform to do the whole thing in one place. And we call this process, this system, as a business intelligence, or as a shortcut, BI. So what is that? A business intelligence is the whole process of working with data. So collecting the data from the sources, cleaning up the data, preparing and organizing it, and then turn it into visuals so people can understand what is going on and make better decisions. So the BI, the business intelligence, is the full workflow from start to finish. A lot of people think business intelligence is just like making charts and dashboards. Well, it is way more than that. And of course, we need tools, platforms to do now the business intelligence, right? And for that, we have two very famous platforms. We have the Tableau and the Microsoft Power BI. And that's why you have it in the name, Power BI, BI Business Intelligence. That's why we call Power BI as a BI tool. Same thing goes, of course, for Tableau. Now, quickly, what is the history of Power BI? Because Power BI didn't start as a giant platform. Everything began inside the Excel. So Microsoft has tools like Power Query and Power Pivot hidden inside Excel. Those tools were very powerful, but the thing is, Excel itself was not able to handle the big modern data, as I showed you all the issues and problems of the Excel. And at the same time, other platforms like Tableau start to becoming very popular because it offered a clear way and easy way to do data visualizations. So that's why Microsoft understood they need something completely new. They cannot keep adding stuff to Excel. They start taking the strong parts of Excel and turn them into new products focused on data analysis. And that idea became Power BI in 2015. And since that point until now, Microsoft keep pushing and keep improving the Power BI month after month. Better visuals, more connectors, improving the performance, deep integration of Power BI with the Microsoft ecosystem, and in the last 4 years, they introduced the Microsoft Fabric and Copilots in Power BI. So over the time, Power BI grew into a full business intelligence platform or a data analytics platform. It became one of the Tableau's main competitors. Both of them are now the top tools in the world for BI. If you have a look at Google Trends, you can exactly see the clear shift. Tableau was dominating for a long time, but Power BI kept growing and growing until we reached the point where Power BI gets searched almost as much as Tableau worldwide. So it is interesting where Power BI and Tableau gonna go over the time. And for Power BI, we have another name. We call it as Data Visualization Tool. So what is that? But first, let's have some coffee, right? Alright, so it is the process of turning raw data and boring numbers into visuals and charts like bar, line, pie charts, and heat maps, just to make it easier for a human to understand the complex raw data instantly. Because, my friends, we are visual creatures.